Time and history. Time has been the essence of human life throughout history. All activities of life, such as production, consumption, social gathering, and religious rituals, have all been influenced by time. In the past, human beings had used seasonal changes and natural phenomena as important tools in telling time. For instance, they had used sunlight to determine nights and days, a moon's shape to determine the day of a month, also known as the lunar calendar, the cycle of stars' orbits to determine the month of a year. Moreover, high and low tide, hot and cold weather, and directions of the wind and monsoons helped to indicate the season of a year. Then, humans invented many tools that have developed over time, such as sundials, water clocks, hourglasses, mechanical clocks, a solar calendar, and a lunar calendar to indicate times. History is the study of the past of human society in relation to the dimensions of time. To convince that evidence or traces of facts are true, they must be in the correct chronological order in time. In other words, if some evidence found to occur in the same specific period of history that is under the investigation, then it can be assumed that the evidence is more reliable. Then it can be assumed that the evidence is more reliable than the other evidence found to occur in the later period of history. The reasons why time is important for the study of history are as follows. 1. Time helps to clarify events happening in the past. Historians believe that the former events influenced and affected the latter ones, or continuous events. Therefore, those who study history must know the chronological order, timeline of events, where and when the events occurred. Then they can place the historical events in the accurate timeline. 2. Time helps to connect the past to the present and leads to the speculation of the future. History is not static, but always changing, more or less, quick or slow, depending on the differences of environment, ranging from social to natural factors. The external factors do affect changes over time. Time will continually link past events from one period to another. Time will explain the unique characters and differences between each society for some events that occurred in a different time frame or during the same time frame but in different places. 3. Horologe is the wisdom of humankind. The necessity of life has encouraged humans to invent tools to tell time. A sundial was invented by ancient people. The shaft in the center of a sundial, marked plate, uses the shadow of the sun ray to indicate a time of the day. A sunglass and water clock use gravity to indicate time on a dark day or night. As civilization crept onto human society, people began to use solar and lunar calendar about 5,000 years ago. The solar calendar uses the Earth's orbit around the Sun, 1 year. The lunar calendar uses the Moon's orbit around the Earth, 1 month. These two calendars have been used as a base to separate time into days, months, and years. All of these were brought on various eras such as Christian era, Buddhist era, and Hek era to record important religious events, and minor eras, Great era, and Roman era to record political records. Time in the Thai historical documents. In recording of Thai history, Thai people in the past had mostly used stone inscriptions, stone plates, metal plates, including gold and silver plates, palm leaves, and other forms of written documents to record historical events. Formerly, Thai people used the lunar calendar to record the time of events, but later changed it to solar calendar with the influences of the Westerners. The types of eras used are as follows. 1. Sakka era, Greater era. It originated in India during the reign of Kushana dynasty. This particular type of year numbering systems was widely used in stone inscriptions from the pre-Sukhothai and Sukhothai periods. Sakka era year 1 is equivalent to BE 622. Sakka era plus 621 equal BE. 2. Junla Sakarat era, Lesser era. It originated from the kingdom of Srikasetra, one of the ancient kingdoms of the modern-day Myanmar. It was frequently used in stone inscriptions of the late Sukhothai period, Lana kingdom, as well as in documents of the Ayutthaya period. Junla Sakarat era year 1 is equivalent to BE 1182. Jula Sakarat era plus 1181 equal BE. 3. Ratanakosin era. It was created by King Chulalongkorn of Siam, or the so-called King Rama V. The year of the founding of the Ratanakosin kingdom, BE 2325, was designated as year 1 of the Ratanakosin era. Ratanakosin era plus 2324 equal to BE. 4. Buddhist era, BE. It is popularly used in most Buddhist countries. In Thailand, we count the BE 1 starting from 1 year after the death of Buddha. However, in Sri Lanka, Laos, Myanmar, and Cambodia, people start counting from the actual date of Buddha's death. Therefore, BE 2553 in Thailand is equivalent to BE 2554 in Myanmar, Laos, and Cambodia. Thai people have used the Buddhist era to record documents for quite a while, but mostly for religious-related dates. During the rule of King Narayan the Great of Ayutthaya Kingdom, the Buddhist era was used for recording annals or chronicles. In the year 1913, BE 2456, King Rama VI, also known as King Washirawut, declared that Thailand uses the Buddhist era as the national era. 5. Christian era, Anno Domini, or shortened as AD. It is considered as the international era, which has been widely used by Christian nations over the world. The first year of the Christian era starts counting from the birth of Jesus Christ, AD 1 plus 543 equal to BE. Recording of time in Thai documents. During the Ayutthaya and Ratanakosin periods, time-related symbols were regularly used in recording a specific date. The two examples are as follows. Read as Sunday of the 3rd month of the waxing of the 8th night. Read as Monday of the 5th month of the waning of the 10th night. Read as Monday of the 5th month of the waning of the 10th night. The first number shown in the examples is read as a day of the week, which starts counting from Sunday as number 1 onwards. When the second number is written above the Thai symbol Paya Noi, it refers to the waxing moon. When the second number is placed under the symbol, it refers to the waning moon. The last number refers to a particular month. The first month in the traditional Thai calendar system is called Ai. The second month in the calendar is called Yi. The rest are called from the 3rd month to the 12th month, respectively. Time periods. In addition to the use of days, months, years, and eras, a lot of historical evidence show the use of time periods in different numbering systems, such as decades, centuries, and millennia. A decade refers to the time duration of 10 years. In most cases, it is normally used in the Christian era. For instance, the period from the decade of year 2000 is the time frame between 2000 and 2009. A century refers to the time duration of 100 years. This term can be used in both Christian era and Buddhist era. For instance, the 25th Buddhist century starts from BE 2401 to BE 2500. Moreover, the 19th century refers to the duration between AD 1801 and 1900. A millennium refers to a time duration of 1,000 years. For example, now it is the 3rd millennium from BE 2001 to BE 3000.